welcome back to the Epic Ambition Let's Play of Megaman Legacy Collection.
Oh yes, it's time to get our Mega back on.
We're
Ooh. I'm still not a fan of this thing.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of it either. It's kind of an annoying little
It is,
bit.
it's really hard to kill. It's almost impossible to go under. Whoop, haha.
And I was looking, I watch all these back. I'm the editor, as well as a star, except not really. But anyway.
Someday.
Yeah, someday. So basically, I've noticed that we thought, when the first time we encountered one of these, that whenever it jumps on you, it kills you instantly. Does not do that.
This is bad. This is really bad. I'm stuck. Okay.
Shoot it. Just shoot it. It's stuck too. You just shoot it.
Let's figure out how many bullets it takes to kill this thing.
Yeah. Let's not count them though. A lot is what I'm gonna bet on.
There. Oh, well, not as many as we thought. I guess it just feels harder when you're being chased.
Yeah, it's scarier for sure.
All right. Let's do this.
Alright. See, the funny thing is, I also noticed because that little peek behind the corner. This is our second recording session, and you have to use ice.
I remember.
I did the all right thing without knowing what the reference was.
Yep, it's true.
So I paused for a second in one of the videos. Was like, okay, what? Because I didn't know what that was.
I feel like that's jumpable.
No, you figured out. You kept trying last time.
I know, but remember how long it took me to get it to be frozen at the right interval?
Well, I also remember you doing it first try one time, completely effortlessly.
That's true, but I don't know if that was skill.
Well, what you have to do is you keep trying to do it one at a time, but the first two have to be done at the same time.
Right.
Which just means you have to keep an eye out on it. And there's no real rush.
That's true.
I think a lot of people make the mistake of trying to rush through this stuff to, show off skill and all that stuff. But, I think as long as you're making progress, even if it's a bit slow.
Oh shoot! I literally can't continue because I'm out of guts power.
Well, if you die, you'll get all your stuff back.
Now's a good time to figure out if a bomb hurts me.
Yeah.
I literally have to die. Okay, that sucks.
It does.
Alright, let's start this over now. Okay. Let's do this.
But, yeah, so
yes.
before these, we were talking about all kinds of different stuff, our plans and our dreams and our hopes and whatever with this channel, and
Deepest, darkest secrets.
that too. And we were thinking that, at least I was thinking, if we were to do a podcast, we would probably make it more anime-centric. I mean, we've talked about mainly visual novels on this. We haven't talked a lot about anime, which I think is also another excellent topic that we could explore in a bit.
Totally agree.
Because you actually are the one who got me into anime.
Is it true?
Yeah. I watched the only anime I watched on my complete own was
Dokuro-chan?
Dokuro-chan.
I remember one of the first in-depth conversations we had was about that show. I'd never heard of it, and you're describing it was the strangest thing in my mind, the strangest possible show.
It's really weird, but I oddly have some I go back to and watch some bits of it on occasion, just because I think the show, as silly and goofy as it is, I think that it actually has some interesting characters and actually some.
That it does. It's actually very fascinating.
And it and it's an ecchi series, but the second season actually, in some ways, tones it down. In some ways, I remember these.
I forgot about this.
In some ways, kind of turned it up because they started.
True.
They actually changed the color of Dokuro-chan's hair from the first and second season. And they also did stuff like made nudity less. They made it less graphic.
You should explain the plot to our lovely viewers.
Okay, so the plot of Dokuro-chan, and actually, before I get too far off of it, I was just gonna say, as you can see, we both really like anime.
Yeah, that's
and I
true.
think that would be a good thing to make the podcast about. Though we would probably go into other topics like video games, and especially one of the guests that I'm thinking of inviting is Caliber's wonderful wife, who doesn't like anime so much, but she's really big into WoW, and I figured her perspective on a few things might be good.
Oh man, who would have thought these Rocket Steves were so
No.
notorious?
No kidding. Those things have killed you like twice in a row already.
Yep, I'm aware.
They were actually, the first time you saw them, they were giving some trouble too.
Okay, so basically, if you get hit by them at all, there's no way to not fall into the spikes.
Looks that way. Which may be why you might want not to use that ability. You might want to try something else.
You mean not the normal Buster?
Yeah, you might want to try
Yeah.
something with a bigger...
I've always had that problem with these games. Even though I know that these other weapons are probably better, like, completely. I don't like that sound. It didn't sound like it hurt him at all.
Nope.
But I just default to the Buster almost all the time. Just because, I don't know. I don't know why. I've always had that problem.
Yeah. It's... Because, you know, we were talking about the other time, a lot of these old games, they're solid in their design.
Mm-hmm.
And so you forget about the other attacks because the basic stuff is good.
That's very true. And it feels comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
But then you realize you keep dying, and then you find out that, oh, there's an ability made just for this.
Mm-hmm.
What?
But, anyway, we were talking about Dokuro-chan a minute ago.
We were. Good show.
Yeah, it's good. The plot of Dokuro-chan. So, this guy, there's a teen kid, I think he's in middle school.
Mm-hmm. About right.
Yeah, and in the future, he creates a device inadvertently making people immortal. Specifically women immortal. And the reason why this device exists is because he was trying to turn... Apparently in the future he becomes a pervert and likes kids. A pedophile. So he creates a machine so that women can no longer age above 12, which causes them to be immortal. So... God sends...
plot.
Yeah, so God sends a angel back in time to kill him. To just completely destroy him. But the angel in question, Dokuro-chan, I'm not really sure. I don't know if it's ever explained, but for some reason she seems to think that he has more. There could be more to him.
Mm-hmm. I think she wants to try to change history instead of completely kill him.
Yeah, that's exactly what she's trying to do. She's trying to, all throughout the show, she's constantly making him not pay attention to school and do homework and stuff like that.
No.
Because
okay, I need to use Cutman.
You do. If he can't focus on schoolwork and can't learn, then he can't create this, this miracle machine, which is just a pedophile machine. And if he does that, then there's no reason to kill him. So, all kinds of antics come out. She starts going to school with him, all that kind of stuff. And the show, actually, in my opinion, has one of the saddest. I think it's because we're getting over on a topic.
It is because I can't think. Well, keep going.
Yeah.
I'm getting better at it. I'm getting better at talking and playing.
Yeah. But so
not in the swing of it yet.
But yeah, so Dokuro-chan actually has one of the characters in anime that I feel legitimately one of the worst about, because there's an angel that they send back in time to kill him. That's not Dokuro-chan, because Dokuro-chan's not doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So they send another angel who has these like ram horns, and she doesn't succeed either because Dokuro-chan gets in her way and stops her from doing it. And then basically, unlike Dokuro-chan, Dokuro-chan lives with this character, with the main character. I can't remember his name because that's how insignificant he is. But anyway,
some generic brown-haired anime guy.
That's exactly who he is.
That's literally his character.
Yeah.
Who eventually becomes a pervert.
Yeah. So supposedly. But anyway, but unlike her, who lives with this character, she lives in a cardboard box.
Yep.
Out in the rain, and the ending things are really sad because it almost always shows her like there's a few where she's in the rain and her box gets destroyed, and
the ending theme to the second season is literally her walking around depressed all alone.
Yeah, and the crazy thing about that is, in the second season, I think the second to last episode, they're gonna punish her. They're basically gonna send her into a prison that's impossible to escape from.
Mm-hmm.
Because she didn't end up following through. And it's like, and she's like, but you shouldn't do that because I tried, but every time I show up, Dokuro-chan beats me and I can't do it. And so she's like, she's so sad because she fails at her mission because Dokuro-chan gets in her way. Then she has to live basically starving all the time and freezing, and in the rain, living in a cardboard box. And then she's gonna get, basically for all eternity, is gonna spend her whole life in this tiny itty bitty box. And they stop this from happening, of course, but it's just like
legitimately sad.
Yeah, I just feel so bad for her because, I mean, when she's first introduced, she's introduced as kind of a nasty character because she like seduces him and then like is gonna electrify his brain. But Dokuro-chan almost constantly, like, you know, like she'll seduce him a bit, and then like he'll walk in on her like changing into her underwear or whatever, changing into her pajamas, and then she'll kill him brutally with a giant spiky bat called Excalibur. And
Excalibur?
Yeah, that's what it's called.
Yeah, I forgot.
And then
now the theme song's coming back to my head, so I should have known this.
Yeah, and then she brings him back to life using the piri spell, which like is admittedly way more brutal than what this other character would have done, because she would have basically put it to the back of his neck, pushed a button, and he'd have been dead. And that was it. But instead, what instead happens is, you know, she lives for a long, long time, starving and cold and hungry. But I still think the show is interesting and has one of the most baffling things where, like, there's a younger sister character to Dokuro-chan, but she's huge and she has an eye patch and humongous boobs for no reason. She just, like, they don't even explain it. It's just like, yeah, she's my younger sister, but also she's huge. Like, Dokuro-chan looks like a middle schooler, and this chick looks like she may be like.
Well, Dokuro-chan is coming back and posing as a middle schooler, so she probably maybe switched her form somehow. No,
because she talks about how she's jealous of her sister.
Oh, okay.
And her sister's always like she loves Dokuro-chan. And actually, she was, I believe.
I thought I could have avoided it.
They were gonna send Dokuro-chan back to heaven, because she wasn't doing her job. But they ended up like being able to argue for him staying there so that, you know, he doesn't end up dead.
Right.
Trying to change him rather than kill him.
What?
Because the mom shows up and she really likes him. Because he's got that classic anime character of, yeah, he's kind of pervy, but he also has a generally good
He has
art.
a good side, yeah.
Yeah. But there's also a lot of really weird stuff in that show. Like, there's a show within the show called The Sensitive Salaryman, and his thing is if he gets touched at all by anything, like he gets all, you know, eroticized. And there's this sausage called the Sensitive Salaryman sausage, and Dokuro-chan in one episode puts that in the chocolate. And when she does it, though, like, it's not just like, oh, well, that's a classic anime thing to do. But the thing is, that chocolate, like, horrifyingly, like, becomes little versions of him, and they, like, crawl inside of his mouth when he's like, I'm not gonna eat this. It's a really, really bizarre show.
It is.
But I recommend it. I think it's good, as long as, you know, if just for fun.
I love the part where she, the main guy, where she kills him while they're in the water, and then his blood just like gushes out like a geyser all over into the stream, and she's like, "Ha! Now his blood will evaporate into the clouds, and the whole community will drink him." And then brings him back to life.
Yep. And yeah, because the whole stream turns red.
Yep.
It's and the reason she kills him is because she thinks she's drowning. And then goes to give her mouth to mouth. It'll be gone. And then she bashes his head off.
Yep.
But yeah, in the second season they stopped doing that so much. They stopped doing the brutal kills, which
was kind of the whole, I don't know, the originally appealing part about the show for me.
Yeah. Because that's brutal. It's like
it's gory. It's gory. Actually, they censor the show, unfortunately.
Yeah, they censor it in season 2.
So like there'll be a giant gushing wound on his chest, and it'll just be blurred out.
Yeah, which is not an uncommon thing to do.
No, not at all.
But
it's always a little bit disappointing.
Yeah, actually, Dragon Ball does a bit of that. Dragon Ball Kai. Actually, I'm not going to get too much into that because we're almost at the end of this episode. But
gotcha.
I can talk about it next time. But anyway, so Dragon Ball. I've been watching Dragon Ball Super. I'm super into it. I've actually really gotten into Shonen in a big way, and a little recently, and so I want to talk about that because you've been into Shonen for a long time, and
oh yes,
I feel like that's a good topic for next time. So we'll catch you guys next time.
See you next time. Same epic channel, same ambitious time.